Muted?
I
Hey, do I
I
have
was muting
audio?
mine. There we go.
Do I have audio
Uh,
this week? How are we doing? I
yes.
think I have audio.
Uh,
Good job.
everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Kel McDonald. I make comics you can read at kelmcdonald.com.
And I am Alina Pete. I make comics you can read at alinapete.com or weargeek.com. How y'all doing? I just got back from visiting my family out on the island. Like literally like a couple hours ago.
Fun times.
Yeah. I was going to be back on Sunday night, but they changed how they are doing their bookings for the ferry. So we were not able to book a ride home like we were hoping. So we had to stay until Tuesday when it was less crazy out there. I'm gonna draw us as Pokemon this week.
All right.
What do you think?
My favorite Pokemon is Espeon and or Umbreon.
Good. Those are some solid Pokemon. I quite like Doduo. I know it's one of the dumbest Pokemon, but it's one of my favorites. And also, I really like Pidgey. Pidgey's just a good bird.
I mean, yeah, because you like your birds. He's a good bird.
I like my birds. If I was a Pokemon trainer, I would definitely be one of those ones that just all flying type, and I'd be very easy to beat. But it wouldn't matter because it would just be me and my little bird friends by the side of the road,
So
getting
that
beat
answers
up
my
by like
question
12-year-olds.
of if you were a gym leader, what type of gym would you have?
Oh yeah. Oh god. All flying type, no problem.
I would
Like and all the bird ones.
be a dark type trainer.
Good.
Because not allowed to be an evolution gym.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everyone would want to have an evolution gym because they're just awesome.
So it would be like Umbreon, Houndoom.
Wrong choices.
I like Murkrow. Murkrow's pretty good.
Murkrow's very good. I like Murkrow as one of the cool bird Pokemon.
And there's the cool like cat bird Pokemon that like is dark poison. So
yeah.
do that too.
That's a good one. That's not from a generation I played though, so I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. It's not one that pulls to mind.
A very off-model Pokemon. I've gotten somewhere between that like little tiny blue bird Pokemon that's all made of clouds and Torchic.
That would be a good bird Pokemon to have because that Pokemon also part dragon.
It's true, and that's very important because a lot of the flying types are real weak, and you'll get your butt kicked.
Hey,
There could
half
be
the
like
legendaries are flying types, so.
Well, I mean, true.
You could have all the fancy birds.
Yeah, I like the fancy birds, as evidenced by the fact that I have many fancy birds in my house.
I'm gonna look up whether dark Pokemon are so I can like what would my team be as a gym leader? Dark Pokemans. Okay.
Here, what's going on? I've not got these ears. I was gonna do like a Raichu ear.
So yeah, so I'd have Umbreon. I like Murkrow. I like Houndoom. I'd have a Tyranitar because those are beefy.
Oh, those are real beefy. I like those beefy boys.
And then I get two more. And I feel like having a legendary is cheating if you're a gym leader.
Yes.
So
But also,
I'd go with
Pokemon.
I'd go with the crocodile guy.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Scraggy, the guy that looks like he's holding up ants.
I like Scraggy.
Yeah.
One of those like good no arm kind of like he looks like the little no arm guy from Undertale, but he's got arms.
So yeah, those are some good dark pokes.
I'm doing like somewhere between a wolf and an EV for you, but also like clearly a dark type Pokemon.
Yeah.
kind of got like an evil fox vibe going on
I
right
was
now. I'm gonna give you more
also
fluff.
the other type of team I would want is to make a team that's all dogs, but that's also not a
Oh, nice.
specific type.
Yeah, because you could do all dogs. Like there's the
And
good,
have pretty
the
good
good Yorkie.
like you could see you could have all dogs, but then still have pretty good like typing because you have Arcus
Yeah.
Fire.
Yep.
And then you get that wolf Pokemon and Rock
Yep.
that is the evolved
Yep.
form of Rough Rock. And then Granbull and its evolution are Fairy type.
Yes.
So that would help you out.
Also, just in terms of dog breeds, like it's like you got like a pug, you got a corgi, you got a
Yeah.
Yorkie, you got just a hound.
And then there's like that electric dog Pokemon.
Yes, that's a little corgi boy.
That Oh, I wasn't even thinking of Corgi. I was thinking of the old elect dog that looks like he has a peanut on his head.
Oh, right. Yes, that guy. I always forget about him.
Go for source. Yes, Leopard was the poison dark cat
Yes.
I was thinking of. So you could have a pretty good range
Team
of
going on there.
dogs.
Yeah.
And especially like are the evolutions to those dogs. Some
Oh, I would
kind
put
of
them in
look.
like the fox kind of
They're
category.
most of them I think are foxes, but some of them like Jilton, I think that looks more like a dog, mostly because he doesn't have a
Yeah.
tail.
Yeah. The weirdest evolution.
Um.
There's our weird Pokemon. I'm just riffing at this point.
And then Glaceon kind of has flop ears.
Yeah. Glaceon's also the most like I have an anime hairdo.
Yes.
I am an anime
but
heroine.
It's ice, so it's the idiot type.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. What's happening? I've been on vacation until literally a few hours ago. And apparently cannot draw anymore.
Other stuff that I'm watching on YouTube
Yep.
is there's this guy who's doing like a therapist reacts different TV shows.
Oh, interesting.
And so what's funny is he's from England, so like sometimes there's therapy things that like I know are correct for America, but he is critiquing them as inaccurate because
right. That's not
England's
how they do them
different.
with the NHS. Yeah.
Because like it was specifically he was talking about he was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it was they were encouraging Jake to get therapy for a traumatic experience he had, and he's like that's not a thing that happens, and it's like that's definitely a thing that happens in America because they you just sue them for like trauma and stuff.
Right, because you can do that. Yeah.
But it's fun. Like he, I watched him because he did a therapist reacts to Always Sunny episodes, and those are always hilarious.
Nice.
If you have any professional reacting to Always Sunny, I'm gonna watch that video because it's always a gem. Because the gang is horrible.
Yeah, and you need to have somebody going, okay, what? Okay, what?
The funniest any professional reacting to Sunny is there's a YouTuber Legal who does a lore reacting to different media. And he reacted to an episode where they're in a courtroom. Charlie A starts to ramble about bird law, and bird law is not a thing. But yeah. But anyway, the therapist guy I was fun is he was told to watch, if not all of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, at least a couple of songs from it. So he watched the music number of antidepressants are not such a big deal. And he was like, oh, it's really catchy. And he really liked it and thought it was information.
Good.
And then a thing that he appreciated it is in the song Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, they have a joke about they're not allowed to say brand names. And he goes actually more helpful to me because we don't use the same brand names as America. So if an American patient comes in here asking for something, I look like an idiot because I don't know what they're talking about for frequently.
Right. Do they actually like use the medical name for drugs? Oh, okay, cool.
Because the song is like fluoxetine, and they like the actual medical name, and then they make their joke out. We're not allowed to say names. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
I do that in my household. I don't remember the brand names for a lot of things, drug wise, because we just use the like actual medical term because Lane's a biologist. So like, I know that loratadine is the histamine that I use, and then my mom was like, "What do you use, like Claritin or Reactin?" And I was like, "Loratadine." She's like, "I haven't heard of that one. What is it?" And I'm like, "It's not. It's what it's in some of those. I just don't remember which one's which."
Yeah, I always buy the cheaper store brand version, so I usually do look up the actual thing.
Yeah. So you're like, cool. I want whatever's in Claritin, but like cheaper.
So like I have I'm looking at my nasal spray, and it's fluoxetine propionate, something like that. Probably butchered that pronunciation, but I know like that's the thing to lower when I'm getting my nasal spray.
Yeah. And you're like, hell yeah, that's the stuff, and it's cheaper than whatever the brand name is.
If you haven't seen Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, I highly recommend it. Because it's a good time, especially if you enjoy musicals.
I have not, but I do enjoy musicals.
It like a good time. It's kind of critiquing romantic comedies, and how a lot of behaviors on it are problematic. Which is why she's a crazy girlfriend.
Yep.
And then what's fun is when they gave her a diagnosis a couple of seasons in, they actually a therapist watched the show and diagnosed their character in
cool.
her behavior. So they didn't just say,
and then they went, that is canon now. That's in the show.
That is canon now, and that is one of the things that is
you have like borderline personality disorder or something?
Yes, she has borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating to her because so they had the therapist diagnose her and ask like what would the treatment be. So she gets upset because it's not an easy treatment.
No.
But the ongoing thing is basically that she thinks a romantic relationship is going to solve problems.
That's a problem right there.
Yes. That is indeed a problem.
There's your problem. No, it will just make your problems compounded, because now you have to deal with someone else's problems too. And they have to deal with yours, and that's a problem. All right, what else am I doing here? I'm just warming up on some Glaceon because I have not drawn in quite a few days. I have been on vacation.
Draw more Pokemon. All the pokes.
I saw somebody doing really cute Pokefusions today.
Yeah?
There's like a Raichu Bulbasaur that was super cute. I like that one. And then what else was there? There was like a Charmander Raichu as well that was kind of neat. They were riffing on Raichu, basically.
I remember at anime convention I used to go to frequently. There was a person who would bring their. They would always dress as Ash, and then
Right.
they would dress their dog up as Charizard.
Oh no, that's very cute.
It's very good. It was like a black dog. They made it a shiny Charizard.
Oh, good.
Good. And T-Blade, thank you for stopping by, and I'm glad that you liked Sorcery 1 while it was running. I hope they are enjoying the city between.
I should look at your chat. I'm gonna do that.
That's
it.
mine. That's the only chat in my chat.
Sweet. I'm just now I'm stalking your chat as well.
Creep.
Yes. I know. I believe my birds are stuck in the couch. They have wedged themselves in there because they are so happy to be home. We took them with us to the island. And they were like, "Oh no, why are we in a different room? We hate it."
Different place, and we don't like it. No.
Yep. And they were just barely starting to get used to it, and then we packed them up and took them on a boat because we're mean. We're very mean people. Meanest humans ever.
If you like musicals, you know what else? Great musical. Death Note musical.
Really?
Yes. Excellent. It's maybe the best version of Death Note, in my opinion.
Huh. Interesting.
Part because it stops when L dies.
Yeah.
That's a big part of why it's great. But the other thing is like all the like songs are like half the songs are duets between Light and L, and like it's super homoerotic and it's fucking great.
Good.
Like the scene where they play tennis, that's a song, and like the stage spins, so they're like circling each other. They sing about trying to trip each other up.
Oh, good.
And then what else funny is the demo album was written in English. Like they basically gave they hired a guy in America to call the music, and he hadn't read it, and they gave him instructions, and then he like wrote the sound on all the music to it in English, sent it back, and Japan translated into Japanese. There was clearly some stuff that like in the instructions didn't quite line up with what like a cultural difference interpretation of that.
Right.
So like they're saying Misa is a pop star, and so he wrote a song for her that's very like Britney Spearsy, Mandy Moore-y.
Yep.
So they send that back to Jan, and after translating it, they like upped the tempo and the pitch, because J-pop is much more like they're pop stars. Yeah, so they like adjusted it tempo wise to make it more J-pop.
Interesting.
MT, thank you. I have a lot of plans for the between, and I regret that I don't have time in the day to make my futuristic werewolves.
Gotta have future werewolves.
was talking to Kate Ashwin earlier this morning about what to do with characters that are cops.
In any media that you're writing.
Yeah. Because Connor and Maria are now well established to be cops. They are the spooky
cop. Spooky cops.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to keep them a cop because Connor has shifty motivations for being a cop that don't that like I feel like aren't really like, if they're not, they don't think they're falling into cop again, because it's kind of like, so he's abusing power technically. But maybe it is cop because he's just getting on with it. But and then Maria, I'm setting up for some, not for a fall that because she is trying to cop harder.
Yeah.
And that's how I have dealt with these characters or cops. But also I told you I was changed the way the cops work.
Yeah.
So it's not as bad.
I'm trying to think if I've written anything cops in it. I don't think so.
Your sci-fi thing doesn't have any cops in it?
Not particularly. The group who is the main group are like space activists.
Good.
So they're like running around in the galaxy trying to deal with other people's problems on a very limited budget.
Good.
Yeah, and there's kind of no police in the galaxy because like there's so many different places that all sort of police themselves, and there's no one overarching, the empire or anything, which is a decision that was made pretty early on. I think before I even got there, because they were like, that's a sci-fi trope that just happens all the time. Let's just not do it. There's no cops in space. Which gets brought up in an episode where there's pirates, and it's like, well, because there's no cops in space, now there's pirates.
I mean, that's a great place for pirates to hang out.
Yeah.
Hello, Tordo Makes Comics.
Hello. I've been riffing on this Pokefusion for a while, and I love it.
Good.
Just now, it's gone away from being a EV, whatever the wolf Pokemon is, Lycanroc, fusion, and is now just its own weird shadow thing. I like it a lot.
Good. Night mode Lycanroc looks like a Sonic character.
Oh, night mode Lycanroc is like, is like super goth.
He is. That's a lot of Sonic OC energy going into that Pokemon design.
Mm-hmm. I think I saw it described once as like the hot topic Pokemon, and I agree. That's a reasonable assessment.
I mean, there's also the Gothly Pokemon, who's also the hot topic Pokemon, but that's like the guy hot topic Pokemon.
Yeah. What's the girl lolly Pokemon?
It's like Lolligoth or something like that.
Now I'm just Googling. Oh, I forgot about that one. I don't like that design. It's very weird.
I don't like it when Pokemons look human.
Nope, it's the worst. It's the most uncanny valley. Mr. Mime and this one, Gothorita. Oh, I hate it. It's got real human lips.
I don't like a lot of the fighting Pokemon is they look too human.
They look like people. Yeah.
Except they do like Mario Machito. I'm gonna just look.
Oh, Machoke?
No, it's.
I love Machoke.
He looks like a pork bun.
Oh, that guy. Yes. Oh, I love him.
Yes.
The little dumpling man.
Yeah, he looks like a little dumpling.
He's great.
And,
The thing is, he doesn't look human so much as he looks like a piece of food.
yeah, that's why he's good.
That saves him. He looks edible.
Okay, his name is Makoita.
Mm.
And he turns into
Have you?
Hariyama.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Xiaolong Bao?
No, I'm not.
Oh, they're really good. They're soup dumplings, so they've got like
Oh, and
this
yes,
lovely
I have
broth
had
inside
them.
when you bite
I'm
them.
just bad at remembering
Oh, okay,
what
good.
they're called.
Yeah, yeah. I just found out there's like a come on, brain, work. An abbreviation for them that is apparently commonly used, and I haven't seen it before, but it's just XLB instead of having to spell out Xiaolong Bao. And I'm like, yeah, I'd like me some XLB. That's the good stuff.
I mean, they're
Give
good.
me that
Yeah,
soup.
they're
Give them soupy boys. It has been so long since I had dim sum.
Also,
I think I told you before
Oh.
that like my metric for is COVID over enough for me to go back to restaurants is do I feel safe to go to a dim sum restaurant, which are all very close together. Like you got to sit real close to your neighbors, and I have not felt that yet, so it's not over.
That's not having me either.
No.
I got this week. I finished new Brant book.
Oh, yeah?
And I like it. Have you read those books, the Rivers of London books?
I've not, but you've recommended them to me before, and I do want to check them out.
A new one just came out. And it was very good. There are talk foxes in it, and the foxes all think they're spies.
Good.
So they're talking in like spy lingo, but they also clearly kind of don't know what they're saying. Because like the main character's doing an investigation, and then the fox is like reading over his shoulder and says, "Good counterintelligence move," and it's like what? And he starts to explain, and he says like examples of counterintelligence. Someone you don't just tell someone. You don't just the doc says you don't just get someone to join the Nationalist Socialist Party. You have to start them with small things. And the main character just goes, "Do you even know what the Nationalist Socialist Party is?" And the fox like, yes. No. And it's like anyway, continue your analogy.
Good.
But yeah, and they give the main character information in exchange for cheese puffs.
Good. Cheese puffs, very important to Fox.
Yes.
As everyone knows. We're supposed to offer a kappa, cucumber, and a spy fox. Cheese puffs.
Your spy fox, the cheese puffs.
Yes, always have cheese puffs on hand.
So yeah, it was good because I was a little bit hesitant to check it out because the main plot of London books got resolved in book 7, and then book 8 was kind of like I have a feeling that maybe the author didn't quite know what to do now that he has resolved his plot.
Gotcha, and was just kind of like flailing around for follow up.
Yeah, he made a story of the week, but maybe it wasn't as well thought out. Because the previous,
as the original,
because the previous books he's usually like the monster of the week plot. But then the B plot is the main thing to like
right.
keep things interesting. And so kind of the B plot of the one was that the main guy's girlfriend was pregnant.
Gotcha.
And that wasn't he didn't
like,
do
okay.
It wasn't like bad. It just wasn't as good as previous books.
Right.
And now the new book is Return to Form. Is a good way to describe it. So.
Oh, hey, Two Spirit. Yeah, I figured you'd be into this one. Into this particular drawing.
Two Spirit enjoying the Raichu
various drawings. I've switched over to some. I'm just finishing up that one promo image for Diginerds.
Okay.
So I originally drew that on the stream like a month ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had it nearly finished, and then the file corrupted, and so did my backup.
Oh.
So I've had to redraw it from memory.
Oh no.
And like it was almost done, and so I worked on other promo images since. So this is not the only one that we're gonna go forward with, but it was the one that I was most happy with. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to recreate that. That's just what's happening now. I figured I was finally warmed up enough after some ridiculous Pokemon to do my actual homework and not just draw Pokemon all night.
I have finished toning all these pages because I'm going to Joe's wedding this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So I gotta get all this shit done before I leave.
Well, thanks, Gopher. Yeah, I think this version is as close as I could make it to the original, although I've changed up this guy over here with the like Gaucho outfit. I'm gonna make him Gaucho Batman because I realized the original was mostly North American people, and I want to have indigenous folks from around the world, at least North and South America. So I do like Gaucho Batman. Little Andes kind of vibe. Is Gaucho Batman a thing? I hope it's a thing.
I'm sure
that's actually a thing.
Someone has done that at some point.
I mean, Batman's like Wolverine. He's kind of gone everywhere through all time. And various writers.
Batman movie yet?
I have not.
I've not either. I have heard... It just popped up on HBO Max, so I might watch it sometime this week.
Cool. I've heard that I think it was Southworth who was like, I didn't think I was gonna like this one. I actually did. It was pretty decent. And I was like, maybe I will give it a watch. I've had no interest in any Batman movie for some time.
Same. Oddly enough, the thing that got me into it was a thread by Kelly Turnbull.
Oh yes, I love Kelly Turnbull.
So she was
her stuff is very rad.
She was posting about like, so Batman is all awkward nerd guy, and like the Riddler is like Zod killer Reddit user.
Yeah.
And so she's like, clearly we're using like internet archetypes to make all the
heroes
Batman characters, and it's like
yeah.
So she's like, so I'd like to propose Jake Paul style Joker, or or Logan Paul, one of those guys.
One of those. Yeah.
And
Good.
they're like, just listen, hear me out. Like the next movie, in the background, you're just hearing him like someone broke into the shoe store and filled all the shoes with Jello, and just is doing dumb shit like that is not actually hurt anyone.
Weird
So,
and
it's
yeah.
Batman doesn't have time to deal with it because he has to fight the Penguin or whatever. And then you get the finally Batman like gets Robin. Robin is like, okay, Robin, I'm gonna deal with the Penguin and shit. And like the important stuff.
Guy.
You go
This
deal
weirdo.
with this guy who's doing all these pranks and putting Jello in all the shoes in the mall, and like just
he's a menace to the city, but not like a dangerous one.
Yeah. So he sent Robin to go with the Joker, and then the Joker beats Rob to death with a crowbar, like in that.
Yes.
Because that would be the ultimate punchline to Logan Paul style Joker.
I still love my fashion influencer TikTok star vampire that I played very briefly in the like 2 months that LARPs could be a thing before COVID got bad enough again that LARPs shut down again. They were fun. They were very, very fun. They were like a gross bat-faced vampire who was like, I used to be pretty, but I am still pretty. I am more beautiful now because I am now more of a monster, and that's rad. And monsters are really in right now. So I'm making this my whole aesthetic. And their whole thing was that they were like, this is all totally just makeup, and I'm still just uploading my normal videos like always. Why would you think I'm a vampire? And anytime they talked to vampires older than them, nobody understood them because they were talking in pure internet.
Yeah, pure internet.
Yeah, and all pure internet, and all of the old vampires were like, I don't understand literally any of the words that you have just said.
That'd be a good thing to do with a vampire. The other thing I read this week is the newest book in the utterly uninteresting adventures of Fred the vampire.
Oh, good.
Which I don't know if I told about those. I like them because they're very tiny, dumb stories. Like the second story that Fred's one of Fred's supernatural friends is like, you need to go out and socialize more, and brings him to LARP. And then it turns out the guy running the LARP, his control the undead spell is a real spell. So it affects Fred because he's the only undead at the LARP.
Right, because he's actually a vampire.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's like that they wouldn't have caught him, and it wouldn't have happened if Fred and Fen there.
Oh, Fred. Why did you have to be there?
And then he is buddies with a mage lady who specializes in making potions so supernatural creatures can get high. Because they can't do
the supernatural drug dealer.
Yeah, well, because like they can't use normal drug get high, and they would like to get high.
Right.
So she's made special drugs, and they're not legal because they're magic.
Right. But they're just for supernatural folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
So it's fun times.
Good. Oh, there is a guy. Why can't you see my drawing? What's happening? What is happening? Okay, there. I weirdly full screened my drawing and then nobody could see it and they could only see my reference images.
Oh, weird.
There. Now I fixed it. I need to look up this Gaucho. There's actually a character for Batman called the Gaucho.
I don't have a lot of faith in being culturally sensitive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's okay. Wow, that is a picture. I am looking at a series of Batmans, one of which is just regular Batman. One of which looks like Mothman. He's got like red eyes, and a black mask. That's cool. One of which is just a native question mark dude with a headdress and then the Batman mask. That's a problem.
That makes
and
me
then
think of Venture Brothers.
Chief
Hank.
Man of Bats. That's his name.
Oh, it's made me think of in Venture Brothers. Hank left in the jungle and is like, I will become the bat, and like makes an impromptu Batman costume out of what's in the jungle.
Oh no, Chief Man of Bats is supposed to be Sue.
Oh no.
Oh no. And then the Gaucho is he's just a guy in a half a lucha mask? 'Cause Mexico, I guess. He's like just a guy in like jeans and a wife beater and a leather jacket and then a half of a lucha mask. Least Batman. Cape Comics, y'all. They're
back.
They're there. They're definitely there.
I think I definitely have superhero fatigue. I'm sick of them. I don't want to hear about them anymore.
No more capes. I desperately want to go and see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Same.
I've heard amazing reviews about it.
Same.
While at the same time still having no idea what the movie is about, and I really want to keep it that way.
Oh, okay. I do kind of know what it's about.
All I know is like dimension hopping Michelle Yeoh, and that's all I need to know to get me in the door. And also, it's by the same guys who made what the hell is that song? Turn Down for What? That amazing music video. That's the director, and so I already know that the visual comedy style is going to be amazing. But yeah, I'm there. I'm there to watch it. I just don't want to go to an actual theater because nobody's wearing masks anymore in this here town. It's a problem.
I'm just gonna wait for stuff to jump on HBO Max.
Yeah. Want to support Michelle Yeoh. Do not want to get COVID. Although I can be a little bit less careful now that I am not going to go see. I've already gone to go see my immune compromised sister and young niece.
I need to figure out how I'm getting shit done to San Diego Comic Con.
Yeah. Me too, to be honest.
I was tempted to rent a car and down, but that might be expensive. So Alina, if you want to drive down and pick me up along the way, I can help you drive to San Diego.
Oh my god. No, I can't because that is in the middle of the 3 cons of Doom. Oh. So we have I always get the order wrong. I think it's Emerald City first, and then Emerald San Diego, and then Gen Con.
Emerald City is I have my calendar. It is not. It's like a month after.
Okay. So then maybe it's San Diego first, and then Gen Con, and then a week off, and then Emerald City.
That
All I know is I'm going to be absolutely dead at the end of that month.
yeah. So if you have Gen Con the weekend after San Diego, then you actually get 2 weekends off. So it
Right.
might
And I
be
will
you
need
get San
both of them.
Diego free weekend, Gen Con free weekend, Emerald.
Emerald City, yeah. That may be, in fact, how that goes. I'm going to die. It's going to be great. Also, I will have to get back in the rhythm of cons. Sam and I were both saying after this past sort of Christmas Emerald City that we're like, oh, we've forgotten how to draw at conventions. We used to be able to like whip out pet portraits like
Yeah.
many an hour, and now we're like, oh, I've gotten slower at drawing because I haven't had to have that same pressure.
Corey forgot that she's tabling with us at San Diego.
Oh no. Is she coming?
Well, she thought she was, and then I told her, yeah, no, they roll our table over
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
she's like, oh, well then maybe I am coming.
Yeah. You can just you can be there and not have to have paid because you've already paid.
Cause yeah, I was picking up a bandana at her place today.
Cool. I have to go down to Seattle in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm getting my green card renewed, and they need me to go down and like get all my scans and stuff done. So I'm going to venture down there for the day. I don't know that I'll be down there long enough to see anybody, but like I will probably try and grab Taku, some of that fried chicken with the chef who was on Top Chef last season, and I really enjoyed him. I want to try his food. It's a place I was like, oh my god, we should go there for when we were all there for Christmas.
And I was
Emerald
like,
City, and then it was like it's lined up forever.
Yeah, it's lined forever, and I'm not a big fan of chicken. Like I'll eat it if you put it in front of me, but like it's never a thing that I'm like oh man,
out.
we gotta go get that chicken.
Whereas I love chicken karaage. It's crunchy. I like that crunch. Give me them good crunchies.
It's like a texture thing about bird meat because I'm also kind of different to turkey, and I've had ostrich before.
Thing is, turkey is always done super dry, and tasteless. Ostrich doesn't have a lot of flavor to begin with, so you kind of have to do stuff to it to make it have flavor.
Yeah.
But quail and squab are so tasty. Those are some good birds.
I like dark meat on turkey. I like the white meat. But I like duck. Duck's good.
Oh, duck's good. Duck's got some flavor. Were you there the Van Calf that we took a bunch of folks out for like Peking duck?
No, I was not there for that. But next Van Calf that I'm there, we should do that.
We should do that. I know a couple real good places, and boy, that was tasty.
I'm not coming to this next Van Calf because I don't think I'm gonna cross the border just yet.
Not yet. Nope.
For cons.
Yeah, I will be at that one because I don't have to cross the border, and also it's not
and you live there
that far from my house.
Yeah.
So it'd be weird for me not to do it, but I totally understand not wanting to go across the border right now. It's gonna be a weird Van Calf without like a lot of the Portland crowd. Because like usually like a third of the con is practically people from Portland.
Yeah. Well, that's because Portland's full of comic artists. Like you could throw around 5 comic artists.
Chock full. It's always tough when we go down to visit because it's like, right, there's like 20 people I want to see. I mean, the one time we've gone down to visit.
I still live here, so
Yeah,
come say hi.
I will. Yeah, we did the Lycum exhibit last time. That was fun.
Yeah.
I would do that one again. That was a cool museum.
They had an ancient Egypt exhibit. And then I missed it.
Huh.
Because it was like stuff that touring that usually doesn't leave Egypt.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I hear you go for source. They've totally messed up a whole bunch of food animals that way to be like, let's produce more of them, but they'll have them be less flavorful. Same thing with tomatoes. They've maximized shelf life at the expense of flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And we now know exactly which genes to put back the flavor, but we don't have the ability to just CRISPR them back in because we don't have the approvals on that yet. But we know we could do it very quickly and easily if we needed to. Have better tomatoes that still last for a long time on the shelf, but taste good.
But I really like blueberries. Blueberries are great. I think blueberries are funny because they don't like to grow in nice places.
Yes.
They specifically grow better in dirt.
Yep. Like rocks, like a rock shelf.
See, bananas taste weird because all the bananas died.
Oh, the Gros Michel.
The bananas that
Cavendish.
artificial banana flavor is based off like a plague kill all. So we are now left with shitty bananas.
The Big Mikes.
I don't really like bananas there because of the texture.
Oh, I can't eat North American bananas anymore because I lived in Fiji for a while and they have banana trees just growing like in my yard. And so when I tried an actual fresh from a tree, perfectly ripe banana, I was like, oh no, this tastes good. This tastes unlike any banana I've ever tasted before. And now I can't eat the like mealy, really bland tasting bananas that you get at a grocery store. But I do not regret having been ruined for bananas because I have tasted perfect bananas.
Commercial blueberries are colorful and tough, but totally flavorless compared to wild blueberries.
Yep, agreed.
I love blueberries.
Blueberries are delicious.
I recently found a recipe for a blueberry cake.
Ooh.
I might try to make it.
Ooh.
Because I was trying to find cakes that were purple for various reasons.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going to prize a friend, and I need a double cake.
Nice.
For that.
It wasn't just an ube.
I said friend is a eater.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I was not confident that they appreciated
the
flavor.
the purple potato cake, probably not great then.
Yeah.
But I do love ube.
So make a full cake. And then I have to figure out how to make gray frosting. Like, what's the right combination of food coloring, frosting, gray.
I this past Halloween accidentally used too much black food coloring in my Halloween bats. And it did very bad things to our digestion for like
Did
a
it
week.
make your poop blue?
kind of purple. It was real weird. It was very, very, very alarming.
I sent you a Discord message that is I'm doing with said purple cake.
Good. I'm going to check that out. Oh, rad. That sounds very cool.
Yeah. Me and my buddy Kevin are gonna work on it.
Nice.
It'll be fun. And like, if we fuck up the blueberry cake, then we'll just make one of those funfetti, super artificially purple cakes. You know what flavor I really like? Artificial grape. Artificial grape is a great flavor.
And needs to be in more things than just medicine.
I mean, there's some candies for it. Yeah. I love artificial grape, and I like artificial watermelon flavor. Those are the
Yeah.
like. I like the artificial better than the real version. Like real watermelon's okay. But it's just I really like those watermelon Sour Patch Kids. I don't know
Oh,
if
those
you
are
ever had
good.
those. Yeah,
I love Sour Patch Kids. I was one of those kids who like would like burn their mouth because I ate too many sour candies.
That when back when Facebook was fun, there was a Facebook group that was burnt my mouth with Sour Patch Kids group.
Good.
Back when the internet was wild and free.
Back when Facebook was fun is such a very narrow and specific period of time.
It's literally 2008.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the exact year.
Yep. That was the year that Facebook was fun.
Yeah.
Fun and new and interesting. Oh my god, kiwi and gopher. I would kill to see kiwis, like actual real kiwis. So I messed up when we were visiting the San Diego Zoo the one time I was there because I thought that, oh, kiwis are nocturnal. Let's go back this evening because we were staying for the night zoo. And I didn't realize that they had their kiwis on a flipped clock so that people could see them, which of course I should have realized. So I missed the kiwis, my one chance to see real kiwis. And I still regret that. I will just have to stay longer at San Diego one of the years when I'm not doing 5 conventions at once and then go back and see them. See some kiwis. Some good birds.
Varlet is in my chat saying Art Grape is definitely Concord grapes. And that's what they're trying to emulate.
Yes. Concord grapes are delicious.
I usually when it comes to actual grapes, like white grapes, or green grapes, however you want to call them. The grapes that you use to make white wine rather than red wine.
Yeah.
So just always liked more sour things.
Yeah. I don't have much of a tolerance for super sweet. I like my favorite pie is key lime because that's just a good pie. But also they tend not to make them very sweet. They're nice and tart. I like a lemon sorbet.
I also like savory flavors a lot.
Same.
I like pecan pie if it's heavier on the pecan filling. there was this candy shop in Alaska, because I went to the Alaska robotics like comic thing.
Oh, I would love to go to that one day.
And there's a candy shop there, and they sold white chocolate covered pecans, and I was like,
Ooh.
oh, I want these regularly in life.
That sounds really good.
Pecans are tasty.
Pecans are very tasty. I also like the regionality of how you pronounce pecan. What's the other? There's like a third one that I can never remember.
I think it's just pecan and pecan. It's crayon is the thing that like everyone says differently.
Yeah.
So there was a thing a while ago. It was something that was about like comparing different dialects, in the U.S. And then because you got to make a clickbait article, they titled it "Tiny Fish Are Tearing This Country Apart." Because that was the thing where it was very firm divides. If it was a crayfish, a crawfish, a crawdad.
Yep.
And the other thing
mud
was,
bugs.
I remember learning that the rest of the U.S. does not use the rotary. It is roundabout instead, because I was giving Amanda directions.
Right.
Confused her, and only Boston calls it a rotary.
Oh yeah, I've never heard rotary before. It's always been a roundabout or a traffic circle.
Yeah, no, this most of America it's roundabout or traffic circle. So, and then like there's one yellow spot just around Boston it's a rotary.
It does its own thing.
Yeah,
Just does its own linguistic weirdness.
So I remember before the thing came out, saying, so you're gonna go in the rotary, and then while giving directions to Amanda Lafreniere, and she's just like, what?
What now? Like the rotary, you know.
Varla is saying roundabouts and rotaries are different traffic control structures and aren't equivalent.
Interesting.
Are rotaries smaller? Is that the difference? Violet. I'm gonna wait for Violet to answer me. It could be rotaries are smaller because they're carriages, so couldn't take tighter turns, so that they needed a little circle. That's what I assume they were for. Well, anyway, theory calls it a roundabout, not a rotary.
Right. That's interesting, because I think I just use whatever the Google Assistant thing is, and not Siri. But it's and it may be a regional Canadian thing, but it's always traffic circle.
I know at least Siri, what version of English you tell it, that's what it will use.
What it says. Interesting.
So it says roundabout. My Siri roundabout, because I made my Siri English. I think it's funny to have a robot English butler.
Good.
And
strong choices. I approve.
But I think if you have an American or Canadian Siri, it might say traffic circle.
Yeah. I bet there's a listing somewhere of like regional Siri variants.
Well, I know that Australian Siri is the only Siri that recognizes good A as a word.
Interesting.
That's
G'day.
like the purpose for different regional Siris is it's to understand your accent. So I have had problems. My Siri doesn't understand me because it's British.
Right.
Like just trying to get it to call me boss, because like Siri will say okay, okay, and then
Whatever
like
your
say
name is.
and so I want it to
Yeah.
say okay, boss.
That's creepy. That's creepy. It's much better if it's boss.
Yeah, so I was saying it to
I don't
call
like
me
robots
boss,
knowing my
but
name.
it kept saying bass. Because
Okay,
like
bass.
it kept thinking I was saying bass because it's a
Right.
English Siri. So I ended up going with call me chief. Now my Siri says okay chief when I give it instructions.
Hey coach. Just thinking of alternatives. Yeah, I don't like my spy robot calling me by name. That's too weird. I don't have one because I don't want a spy robot in my house.
I mean, he's my phone, so
yeah.
He's gonna be
you
in
can
my
only escape
house.
it so much.
Yeah.
Our cyberpunk dystopia is very weird, and I just have to put up with it.
You know, if I didn't think my phone was eavesdropping on my conversations for ad placement purposes, I definitely have proof now.
Yep.
Because I started to get a lot of ads about cancer healthcare.
Oh no.
After
Oh no.
a phone call with my mom. So
no.
But then it's also not very smart because I watched like 2 YouTube videos about black representation in media, and then it was selling me all the black hair care products.
It's like, oh, you're black now.
Yeah.
And you're
Yes.
like, no.
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 No. I was just
no.
interested. I really like this YouTuber, Princess Weeks. And she is a black lady who does like stuff about fandom culture, and her newest video was about her 2 newest videos were about black representation in Disney movies, and then
oh man,
the one before that was about woke reboots and what makes fail or succeed.
Right. Interesting.
So yeah, she had interesting things to say. She also had interesting stuff to say about shipping stuff. A couple of years ago, she did a video about problematic ships. And a thing that I thought was interesting, but I hadn't thought of is so people are telling people, oh, it's problematic if you ship these characters that are children and you're an adult. And then her thought she's using the argument of like, okay, well, so some of these things that people are shipping teen characters of things they've been fans of since they were a teen, and it was age appropriate. And the problem is that cartoon characters don't grow with you, though they're ever teens. So while you might have thought I was hot when you first saw Evangelion,
right now,
and we're
she's like
16,
14 and you're like 20, and it's weird.
It's like you saw Evangelion when you were 16 and she's 16, and now
it was appropriate.
Yeah, and now you're 30, and Oscar
now it's
still your
weird.
favorite.
Yeah. That's weird.
But it's not so weird because, that's just you being attached to a character you like as a teen, so.
I think I've ranted to you about this before, but I have very strong opinions about the whole, like, there's a thing in fanfic and like mainstream media too, because they did this with Umbrella Academy. And it's the thing that weirded me out the most about it, which is the whole, like, well, they're not blood relations, even though they were raised from literal babies as siblings.
Yeah, I
So
hate
if these two siblings want to bone each other, it's okay because they're not actually blood related. And I'm like, nope, still
Nope,
weird. Hate
nope.
it. Hate it a
Now
lot. Don't do it.
that whole
Nope,
thing.
nope.
Yeah, I am with
Hate it so
you.
much.
Alina, that is I call things like that my no TP.
Yup.
Also included
Oh,
in my
man.
TP is when characters hook up with their teen sidekick / apprentice.
That's no good at all. Don't like that.
That
Nope.
seems to
With you
be
there.
what a lot of
Hate it.
people who read the Dresden
Love.
Files want to happen.
I hate it. Hate it a lot.
Like, nope, I hate this. Nope.
Nope. No, not doing that. There's a lot of people who love them some daddy fic. They're like, it's good when there's an older man and a younger person for no reason. It's real creepy. I hate it. I mean, not to yuck anyone's yum, but yuck, and I don't like it.
Listen, sometimes that fic is fine if it's a like 30-year-old and a 50-year-old. I'm okay with that.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
They're both adults and have full.
If one of them is a teen, just no.
Yeah,
just no.
I don't support one teen, even if like the older character waits for the teen to not be a teen anymore. I'm still like, nope.
That's still weird.
Nope.
Not for me. Not for me. Thanks. But yeah, so like the whole Umbrella Academy scene where like the brother and the sister are having a romantic dance together, I was just like, I hate this entire thing. Please stop. I do not want to be watching this. I do like them and their dumbness. They're all very dumb. They're dumb characters doing dumb things. And I do want to see more of Elliot Page. So I'm excited for a new season of it. But stop dating your siblings. And then they pulled in the final season where they're like, this one's kind of a sibling too, but maybe not. But also you're already into her. And I'm like,
that one.
This is somebody's fetish.
Yes. MT Blade in my chat is saying yeah, that kind of thing, the adopted sibling shipping, is one of those tells that none of the shows were adopted or has experienced non-nuclear family unions. Thing that I wonder a lot about when people ship siblings, not adopted siblings, just siblings in general. I wonder, is this shipper an only child?
Yes. Probably.
And then the other thing is there was the question, I forget what came up, but in a friend group we were having the discussion of would fuck your like doppelganger. And
Good. Oh, that's oh god.
I think it was specifically doppelganger because they didn't want to imply clone.
Right.
And so the options were...
Clone would be a different person than you, but your doppelganger would be you.
So okay. I forget how they phrased it, but it was a way to make it vague, so it's not clear, like if it's you or not. The options were no, straight, no, that would be liking my sibling. No.
That's you.
Or then one was, yeah, it's like masturbation, or yeah, I'm really into myself.
Fifth option, we are both too awkward to bang each other, and it would just not happen.
I think that was one. No, it would be weird. For vague reasons. And so I was like, Okay, no, multiple people that are twins.
Nope.
So I'm gonna go
Oh,
ask them
twincest is
this
also a thing on
question. Yeah,
fanficnet.
let's see. Because they're
Yeah.
twins, I wanted to know, like, are all the twins gonna immediately say?
No, literally, I have known several sets of twins, and all of them would be like, "Hell no!"
Yeah. That's
There
kind of.
are no two different people who are similar than a pair of twins.
Yeah. So it was just I thought that was funny, like test of like. I wonder if people who say no, that's like an incest, are all like that. Twins are likely to respond to this question with that answer.
Mm-hmm. I think that fucking your doppelganger is less like it. Like incest is worse because at least it's your doppelganger is you, and it's less weird to be sexually attracted to yourself than it is to be sexually attracted to your sibling. That's weird.
Right, but if you have an identical twin, you might have
But
a
that's
different
not you.
perspective on that.
I
Yeah.
guess. I guess. But like your identical twin is not you, whereas your doppelganger is you, just not you.
But that's the thing, is where's the line?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an empty
Yeah.
bait is saying, is you, or is it just someone that looks like you?
Right.
Doppelganger might be like a mystical thing that came into being that just looks like you.
Also, if it was you from a different dimension, is that actually you? Because they've had different experiences.
Yes, exactly.
So then I think we're going towards more like it's just someone who looks like you. But if it's like a literal cut and paste of you right now, but they're a different person in a different body, I think that is less weird than being attracted to your sibling. Anyway, those are some fanfic thoughts for tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Varla
going on this
is
journey with us.
saying that reminds me of school when jerks would actively fish for reasons to be disgusted by me. Specifically, they'd constantly ask gross questions about whether I was or would be attracted to Meister under insert some made up circumstance. No matter how many times I told no, that's super gross, stop asking, we would go. So it is horrible.
That's awful. I'm sorry you have to put up with that.
Yeah. People suck.
Two of my best friends in high school were twins, and they were the most different from each other people who still were like the closest of friends. And I immensely liked hanging out with them. There was the real bright, friendly, outgoing one who was super into anime and got me into Sailor Moon in a big way. And then there's the more quiet, reserved twin who was very musical and sort of poetic and very, very quiet, subdued sort of personality. And it was always funny to watch the two of them talking because they had the twin thing where like they've had all the same shared experiences and they could like rattle off a list of things to each other that they both had references for and do the like twin talk thing where they could say like half a word and the other person knew exactly what they were talking about while still being like diametrically opposite personality wise.
Bones and Whitney are twins, and they also have kind of a like. Whitney is much more blunt and direct, and Bones is much more smiley.
Cool. My siblings and I are similar people, but with very distinctly different personalities.
I have so I feel like my younger brother and I have more personality type in common, but have very different interests.
Oh, interesting.
He's more of a jock,
Mm.
And so he doesn't know as much about nerd shit.
Yeah.
Uh, and he's
If you
also
have devoted your life to werewolves and comics.
yeah. And then he is like because he's a straight white guy has the luxury of not caring about politics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which I'm gonna be. I'm also a very lazy person, so if I was in position, that would also be probably what I would take.
Default, yeah.
Just apathy rather than caring one way or other.
You can kind of just go about your life, and it's not directly
Um,
impacting you.
so like I remember when he first visited me in Portland, because he knows that I know a lot about politics. He asked me what a libertarian was because a guy at work told him he thinks mother would be interested in being a libertarian. And then I explained it to him. Like I was like, okay, so this is a libertarian theory, is what it usually is in press.
Correct. Different things.
But then because I already lived in Portland at the time, I was explaining to him like, okay, so Portland has a lot of left people, but it also has their right wing will tend to be libertarians, and because of
Yeah.
that,
There's tension.
they're left wingers who want everything to be more natural because that's by default in their left wing mind. In this particular bit of left wing mind, they they that they voted to get fluoride out of the water.
Right.
And then libertarians don't want the government putting things in their water.
So they were actually on the same side of that.
So they ended up on the same side, and because of that, Portland is the only major city in America that doesn't have fluoride in its water.
Interesting. Did I ever tell you how fluoride fucked up my teeth?
You did not.
Oh man. So like in the when I was going to school in Saskatchewan, there was a program to get kids fluoride in school because they thought that there wasn't enough fluoride in the water, even though there was also fluoride in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So for a while at school, because I was Indigenous, they would give me extra fluoride supplements because I was clearly not getting enough at home. And so if you have too much fluoride, it makes white deposits go onto your teeth. And so my front teeth for years had these like bright white stains on them.
Yeah,
that looked really weird.
I knew that because I think it's either sawbones or stuff you should know when over like there was a place in Colorado that like naturally had a shit ton of fluoride in the water.
Interesting. And then they also fluorinated the water.
Well, no, this is like what made them realize that fluoride helps prevent cavities and stuff in low doses.
Oh, neat.
Because it was like no one had cavities, but they also had like what you were explaining with your teeth being
yeah.
T-Bait is saying it was on sawbones, because they remember sawbones. So it was like, cause this is like in early 1800s that it was like, everyone's teeth here look weird,
are good,
but
also weird.
They look weird, but they don't have cavities.
So that's cool. Why is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was years before a dentist that I finally switched dentists, and my new dentist was like, "Hey, do you want me to fix your teeth?" And I was like, "You can do that? I thought they were just like this forever." And he's like, "No, it's really easy actually. Give me like 10 minutes." And then my teeth got fixed, and it was great, and I like that.
Anyway, after I told little brother that story, he took his tap water and said, tastes like freedom.
Good.
And then I have two other siblings that are nerdier, but they're also shyer. They're more homebodies than I am. They don't talk to as many people.
Gotcha. I have my Instagram fashion model sister, who is also in the Navy. So she's very, very tough, but also very pretty. And my metalhead musician chef brother.
Mm-hmm. So a good combo.
We have interests that overlap, but are also very different personality wise.
Is funny like recently there was some family stuff that I'm going to talk about on air going on, and my siblings that are less proactive, it kind of like they were learning about it for the first time,
Right.
but like some stuff that was going on with my dad about his childhood, and it was like, oh, did you know that our granddad used to do this to our dad? And I was like, yeah, I've known that since before I graduated college. Did you
Right.
not know that? Like
yeah.
So, MT Blade, the there is a lot of there's a lot more dental problems in Portland. When I first went to the dent here, they looked at my teeth and immediately said, "Oh, you're not from."
Fascinating.
So it is obvious enough that like a dentist can tell. Dentists,
You're from there or not.
Yeah, or like you grew up in that area.
Right. They're like, oh, you got Portland teeth.
And it's encouraged to get like mouthwashes with fluoride added.
Interesting. Just to supplement.
Because there's none in the water. Yeah.
Does that like extend to some of the suburbs like Beaverton and stuff?
I don't know
Or is like
if
the water there
it's
different?
I don't know for sure. I know that it's definitely in Portland a problem, but I don't know about
Fascinating.
Beaverton whatnot.
Fascinating. Portland has got some weird laws.
Yeah.
It's its own place.
Yeah.
Some of them are old and racist. Some of them just mess up your teeth.
I'm kind of sick of Portland. I'm like maybe I should move now.
Well, it's getting expensive. Like so the main reason to live there is no longer operative.
I'm originally from Boston, and the Boston still is more expensive than Portland.
Right.
So
yeah. So that's still like whatever.
Yeah. I was looking at like, okay, where would I go next? And like Chicago would be good. Part of me misses Boston, so maybe I would suck it up and go back to Boston. But also I have a lot of friends in LA, so
Right.
kind of like maybe I should just move to LA. Either way, this is going to be like a in 2-year thing.
Yeah. Not an immediate thing.
Yeah.
I think
Hi,
we are
Onion
locked
Knight.
in. Oh, hey, Onion. I think we are locked in here in the GVA because that is where my partner's employment is, and I can kind of work from wherever. So this is where I live now.
You're in Surrey or near Surrey, correct?
Yeah.
Every time I go, Surrey is Patton Oswalt's book Zombie Spaceship Way, and the last historian is about the worst stand-up gig he ever did, which was in Surrey. And starts it with like Surrey is the worst place I have ever been. If there was a demon getting summoned in Surrey and only I stop it, I would say, sorry world, I'm not saving it because I refuse to return to Surrey.
Good.
Like that's how much he hates Sorry.
Yep.
But that's all I can think of is being just that like infuriated. Sorry.
Good.
Zombie Spaceship Wasteland is a good book if you like an Oswald comedy.
I should check that out. We were having a very good conversation about comedians around the campfire the other night. Because both Lane and I are really into comedy, and like there are many, 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 many good comedians right now. I don't know if you are familiar with James Acaster.
No.
Oh, he's great. You may be, in fact, if you know him from the meme. So that's why I brought it up. We were talking about how he was on, not Colbert, Fallon, maybe one of those late night shows, because he's got a comedy show on Netflix. So he was doing promo for that. But I mostly know him from panel shows in the UK. The latest of which was his appearance on Taskmaster, which is my favorite show in the world. I kept pretty much, except for Robot Wars or BattleBots. I do love some Taskmaster, and there's a new season that just dropped, so it's very good. But have you seen the Bake Off meme of a guy who goes, started baking, had a breakdown, bon appetit?
No, I have not seen this.
Okay. It's a very funny meme. I've seen it repurposed for a lot of things, including drawing, where it's like, started drawing a comic, had a breakdown, bon appetit. Which is very, very appropriate.
Most of the
anyway,
comedians
he's that guy.
I follow tell stories that are funny.
Yeah.
Like I really like Birbiglia.
Gotcha.
And I like John Mulaney.
Yeah, yep. John Mulaney has the voice of a cartoon character, and I kind of love it.
I mean, that's why he's Spider-Man.
Yes.
And
I just rewatched that movie the other night, and it's so good.
Yeah. And he's in Mouth.
Is he
one of the horny kids?
Oh, good. Those weird, giant-mouthed, horny children.
Yeah. Nick Kroll's the other horny kid. And but I just really love like he has that joke about at his time wife and now his ex-wife where they were planning about doing a little photo shoot with their French dog, and they're we can recreate famous paintings
our bulldog
with our French bulldog.
Good.
And then he suggested The Last Supper. And his wife says, "Yeah, then we could put the little turkey in the middle." And then he goes, "Wait, hold on. What holiday do you think they're celebrating in The Last Supper?" And she then like sighs and goes, "I get it. I'm not Catholic. I'm Jewish. I don't know these things." And he's like, "No. We're past that. What do you think they're celebrating in the Last Supper painting by Leonardo da Vinci?"
Yeah.
And she goes,
"Keep in mind the title is The Last Supper."
And then she goes, "Thanksgiving."
Good.
And then I also really like Mike Birbiglia's stand-up that eventually became the movie Sleepwalk with Me.
Huh. I am unfamiliar.
So Sleepwalk with Me, the movie is really just his stand-up, but as a movie.
Gotcha.
It's about how he's been dating this girl for a really long time. And they go to a friend's wedding. And then someone is like, well, when are you two gonna get married?
Right.
Because he had not thought to propose to her. And
Right.
she clearly wants them to get married.
Yeah.
And that is not a thing he is ready for. So
Right.
his anxiety builds, and that like triggers a sleep disorder in him.
Oh, good.
Where he acts his dreams.
Oh no. Oh no.
One of which is he is staying at a hotel for a comedy tour thing, and he jumps out the second story window. Like he dreams he's the Hulk, and then there's a bomb that is triggered to his location. So the only way for him to save everyone is get away from everyone else.
Right. Just
so
jump out the window.
he turns into the Hulk, and he jumps out the window. And then he literally jumped out a hotel window.
Oh my god.
And obviously hurt himself.
Yeah, no, for
and
sure.
And then had to explain to everyone he was dreaming he was the Hulk and
jumped out the window.
And jumped out the window.
Oh no.
And in his stand-up, he has him explaining to multiple people in the hospital, I'm the Hulk. And then he gets to the doctor, and the doctor says, no, you're Bruce Banner. He goes, touche, nerd. Anyway.
Good.
Good. The conclusion of which is he finds out he has this disorder. He's reading on it. And then one of the things about the disorder is apparently people with this disorder frequently murder spouses in their sleep.
Oh no.
Because they're acting out dreams, and so they
right. And if there's like a scary thing chasing you in your dream,
and then they accidentally murder their spouse, and then he did not tell his girlfriend. That was a possibility.
Oh no.
And later on, he was like, "That was kind of a sign that we should have broken up."
Yeah. That's a problem.
Basically, like it got triggered and was made worse by his anxiety because he knew that he either needed to break up or get married, and he didn't want to do either.
Right. So he was just like, now I have a sleep disorder.
So yeah, and so Sleepwalk with Me is a movie version of him coming to this conclusion.
Fascinating. Kiwi Monkey here says if there's early seasons of Taskmaster where they gave Josh Widdicombe personal tasks and then his legendary reactions. There is one where the Taskmaster makes Josh Widdicombe, I think it was Josh Widdicombe, call him? No, I don't think that was Josh Widdicombe. Anyway, one of the contestants had to call or text the Taskmaster, send him a cheeky text for the next 150 days. And he was the only contestant to have had to have done that. And was like, I spent a not inconsiderable amount of time this year on that. Like, that was one of my major tasks from this past year, was trying to compose these damn texts. That was very funny. And he only sent 149 or 148 texts instead of 150, so he didn't get any points for it.
Oh no. That's a shame.
Very good.
But anyway, I also like Oswald's stand up too.
Yeah, me too.
His book Zombie Spaceship Wasteland was good. Particularly he has a bit in the middle where he categorizes nerds as either zombies, spaceships, or wastelands.
Good, yeah. No, I can see that.
And it's kind of the pros and cons each type of person. I forget the exact specifics of it, but I remember that, like, listening to his descriptions, like, I am most definitely a spaceship, because spaceship type nerds are the people who are prepared.
Right.
They over prepare for everything.
Right.
And he says, but the problem with a lot of them is that they frequently go through life with their deflector shields up.
Right.
So they're maybe a little too detached.
Wasteland sounds like some chaos.
I think it was like a Wasteland one sounded like the most hopeful one, like the most optimistic of the bunch, because like they're gonna try to make something out of the Wasteland and they're curious and want to explore it.
Cool. That's a good type of nerd to be.
But they're also like, so it's a way the spaceships who left got just well I'm here. The wastelands, they want to recover what's meaningful to them while they explore the rest of the wasteland and see if there is anything else that is meaningful to worth preserving. I forget the zombies, but they sounded like insufferable.
Yeah, I can't stand The Walking Dead.
See, and this isn't even him talking about media. They're like people types.
Types of, yeah. But like The Walking Dead really categorizes that kind of type of nerd who are like, The Walking Dead was not about survival. It was about how awful people are to each other. And it was in that same vein of the George R. R. Martin books. Song of Ice and Fire. Where it's just like, look at how awful these people are to each other, and they're all gonna die.
Except the Song of Ice and Fire books at least have a couple of good people in it. So
yeah. Like anytime there was somebody who was like a half decent person in the zombie books, you're like, oh, this person is dying in a horrible way. They're just here to make the audience sort of feel for them, and then they're gonna die in the worst way possible.
Whereas, like in Song of Ice and Fire, you have, yes, Ned dies, but then all of the North like goes to war for his memory because he was such a guy.
Yeah.
And then even though they're losing, like they continue to war on because his memory, like they're willing to fight a lost cause because he was such a
good guy.
Yeah, he was a good man and a good leader, and like we can't avenge. Well, at least go out dying. And yeah, and so one of the big Game of Thrones theories, because I love to read them theories.
Oh yes.
Is that there's a bunch of the Northern Lords are like plotting something complicated to just screw over everyone that fucked over the North.
Good. The North.
Yeah. Because it's stuff like specific lines of dialogue that are said, like, in the Bolton's presence, and like there's a lot of build up to, and like one of them like is very clearly like killing all the Frey in secret,
right,
and is not even like being slick about it. He's just like doing it and like prove it.
You can do about it. Good.
So like yeah, it's kind of like the Stark patriarchs and everyone wants to do everything in his name. The Lannister patriarch dies and everything the Lannisters ever built falls apart and all their enemies come out to get him.
Yep.
So it's kind of short-term versus long-term gain.
Yeah.
Whereas, Walking Dead is like
who's gonna die this week?
libertarian, like wet
Yes.
gun violence, wet dream.
Yep. Not my cup of tea.
I forget who I was talking to when I brought this up. I've definitely said it on panels before talking about werewolves being the proletariat.
Yeah,
But
and vampires being the 1%.
Whereas zombies are very much like what the 1% thinks the poor.
Yes. Yes, that they will just consume everything and they are unchecked. But they're also stupid and easily controlled if you are smart enough, controlled and gotten around. Because that's the whole thing of the zombie movies. It's always like, but if you're smart and canny enough, you could survive. Like libertarian preppers who go off into the woods and then don't actually survive.
And compassionism and like it's very anti anything good about humanity. I hate zombie things.
Yeah. I can't remember who I was having an argument with, but they were saying something about like, yeah, but what if vampires were, and I can't remember what they were putting them in, and I was like, that wouldn't work though, because vampires are a stand-in for the 1%, and this scenario that you have posited requires them to be from an oppressed background. And they were like, I hadn't considered that, and I'm like,
I mean, can make the vampires not a stand-in for the 1%.
But like generally, that is their role in the supernatural.
I think I was talking when I mentioned that like a YouTuber I like was like, hey, has anyone played with like the werewolves or the Nazis and vampire Jews?
Yeah, you tell me about that. Yeah,
and it's like, well, that doesn't work because then you're making your Jewish stand-ins like literal bloodsuckers. Like,
which is that's nope, don't do that, please.
Yeah.
Also,
MTT
they control
said
secret wealth.
vampires basically range from Hugh Hefner at best and Epstein at worst in terms of friendliness. I think that vampires are billionaires. So even when they think being nice, they're hurting the world.
Yeah.
And werewolves are cool.
Werewolves are very cool. Werewolves have to fight the system.
Yeah.
You guys are coming together nicely, I think.
This is a pro-werewolf stream.
Very pro-werewolf. We like some good woofs.
I'm trying to think if I've read some good woofs lately.
I've not read any good woofs, but I've read some good cyberpunk.
Yeah? Tell me about it.
Yeah. There was this one, I think I mentioned it, called Trouble and All Her Friends, that I found that was the first and only piece of female authored sci-fi or cyberpunk that I've sought out. There's a couple others still on my to read list, but this author is queer, and she made the hackers in this like not even a queer allegory. Like they're just all queer, and there are other hackers who hate them, because they are queer, but also because they use a specific type of equipment that lets them sort of get their brains deeper into the matrix and have more input from it. And they try to justify it by being like, "Oh yeah, well if you were actually any good, you wouldn't need this like special equipment. So you're just using it as a crutch." When in fact the other hackers are actually scared of this technology. And in the end, it's like, hey, so guess what? In this like awful dystopia, collective action works sort of.
Good.
When
Hooray.
when the government outlaws this brainworm, the thing that makes them better at hacking than other hackers, they're like, yes, but it is still worth doing, even if what we are doing is illegal. We should still do it because it gives queer people like us a way to make money and get ahead in this world and survive.
Cool.
And also a sense of community. And I was like, that's a good message. I like that. Anyway, highly recommend Trouble and All Her Friends. Very good.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Blade. Here's a question: how much Sorcery 101 is canon to City Between? I know the characters carry over between, but how much of their backstory has come with them? MT Blade. Vaguely, their backstory is going to be mostly the same, but a good rule of thumb is if it doesn't come up in the comic, it's not canon yet. So like, because basically, while doing City Between, I want to like change some world building stuff because obviously, like, City Between world they don't use cars on a regular basis. And the are gonna work a little bit differently, which I'll get into in later comics. But some of the stuff that was story for Sorcery 101, I kept for City Queen, but most of the backstory never actually even made it into Sorcery 101. I'm still gonna have Connor went to a boarding school for most of his education, and that his family was really wealthy. But like the details are going to be slightly different. But I don't think in Source 101, and I never really got into Connor's specifics of his backstory, like his dad was a senator and his mom was his dad's campaign manager, and that his parents were sort of disinterested and kind of neglectful, which is why they sent him to boarding school. Connor did it by Jeff when they were teenagers. I might change it for the kiss thing, but I haven't decided yet. So some of it basically is the answer. Obviously, Rebecca still has both werewolf powers and elemental powers. But I don't use the word mages anymore. I use Thalmanips instead. Because I learned there is more pop culture baggage to me than I thought when I started Sorcery 101. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, basically the mage in Sorcery 101 world and in City Between world, they're basically vendors like an avatar.
Oh, okay. They're not like D&D wizard kind of.
Yeah, I got a lot of like, I got a very long angry letter about how Danny's not really a sorcerer, he's a wizard and different, and you should stop calling him a sorcerer because like Allie's more of a sorcerer since her stuff is like comes from her.
Gotcha.
And like,
gotcha.
so it's like, so you got your terms mixed up. So
and you're like, well, okay.
Okay, so in between, they're called Thalmanips, which is short thaumaturgic manipulator. And that's like just one of the names that people call them. Other people are just going to call them elementals. But I wanted to have my own term for it. I also am going to try to think of a new term for Danny's situation. So in Sorcery 101, Alina, Danny is magically bound to a vampire, so he does not get older,
Gotcha.
and he doesn't get sick. He doesn't have any like powers beyond that.
Right,
Because
right.
in both of them, it's basically if you get vampire blood when you are about to die, you become a vampire. But if you vampire blood in any other circumstance, you get this sort of half step into vampirism, which is what Danny has. So he
Gotcha.
can't get sick. He doesn't age. His body is sort of stuck when it happened. So
Yep.
if he cuts his hair, it will go back to the that it was when it happened, but it won't grow any longer than that.
Okay. Because his body's sort of now unchanging.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he can never recover from smoking.
Gotcha.
He will always be bad at breathing. So I want to think of a new term for that, because I was copying a term from another vampire book. And since it's the only vampire book that I've seen yet, it's sort of obvious for people who read both where I took it from.
Okay, gotcha. They're like, oh yeah, we know this one.
So, and I actually had one thought that Shrew 101 started as a fanfic for that.
Really?
While it was
You're like,
influenced by it, it wasn't ever fanfic.
right.
So I kind of need to come up with a new term for that. Blade is going, but he also can't get any worse from smoking. Yes, correct. He cannot lungs cannot get worse. But they also cannot recover. But also MT Blade, I'm decided about the werewolf cure in Sorcery 101 carrying over. Partly because I kind of like that there is a cure, but natively might be better if there isn't a cure. I'm going to do what feels right in the moment.
Cool.
Also,
just as long as it isn't the was it Lost Boys where the cure is just a blood transfusion?
Oh, that's Lost Boys. That's
Oh no, that's not Lost Boys. That's heck, what is that
the
one?
thing that came out like the same year as Lost
Yes.
Boys. People like it because the vampires weren't pretty.
Oh, I mean, Lost Boys is just great.
I mean, they got that weird saxophone man.
Yes, such a good movie.
Lost Boys also makes so much more sense. I found out recently while looking into like development of Lost Boys. Originally, the vampires were all gonna be like 13, 15-year-olds. Like they were gonna be
like children.
Like children.
Like this was gonna be. This was literally the Lost Boys from Never Never, like Peter Pan, but vampires.
And then like Joel Schumacher's like, then I can't make them sexy. And
that's true, and you shouldn't, because that's weird.
And he's like, so they're all older, so I can make them sexy. And then we can have our weird saxophone man interlude.
Yes.
But like, there's clearly some signs that they were like 12 at the beginning. They're just like dicking around on the boardwalk like troublemaker kids. Like,
yep. I know you're like, I love these shitbag vampires. They're just causing trouble for no reason. Like, it's great.
They're behaving the way shitty 13-year-olds do.
Love it. Good.
Even though they look like 20.
Well, I think I am about wrapping up here. How about you?
I am also almost done. Thanks everyone for popping into the stream. We will stream. Is you still good for next week?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right.
Like I'm back to a more normal schedule now. But like last minute meetings have been the past couple weeks.
Yeah. I'm not streaming tomorrow because I'm going to Joe's wedding and Joe can't
Yay!
stream
Congrats,
for
Joe.
obvious reasons. But yeah, stop by next week where there will be more streaming empty blade. I can answer all of your questions about City Between and what's different between Sorcery 101 because yeah I got a lot of stuff that I changed.
Cool. And I am streaming on Friday, I believe. We got another Trash Heroes episode, so come watch some silly D&D.
Yeah. All right. Later, everyone. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. It was lots of fun.
Bye.
I will talk to you later.
Bye.